And now shifting focus to the U.S., where the legal struggles and troubles for former U.S. President Donald Trump, it continues to mount. In the latest, Trump appeared in front of an appeals court in Washington, D.C. A panel of 3 judges heard arguments over Trump's claim that as a former U.S. president, he should be immune from prosecution. Right after his immunity hearing got over, Trump addressed the reporters outside the court. He said he did nothing wrong and he is being treated differently than others.
I'd like to introduce President Trump. So you can't have a president without immunity. You have to have, as a president, you have to be able to do your job. But if this didn't work out, if I wasn't given immunity, then other presidents, when we talked about today, President Obama with the drone strikes, which were very bad, they were mistakes, terrible mistakes. You really can't put a president in that position. So I think most people understand it, and we feel very confident that eventually, hopefully at this level, but eventually we win. A president has to have immunity. And the other thing is, I did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong.
During his address, he also spoke about how he could prosecute Joe Biden if he returns to the White House.
If I don't get immunity, then crooked Joe Biden doesn't get immunity, and all of the things he's done to allow the border invasion, millions and millions of people coming into our country, many from prisons, jails, mental institutions, insane asylums, many terrorists coming into our country. That's really allowing insurrection.
Trump is facing charges that he conspired to overturn the 2020 election. Trump has pleaded not guilty to all the charges. That includes, number 1, conspiracy to defraud the United States of America. Number 2, conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. And lastly, conspiracy against the right to vote. The Republican front-runner for the 2024 presidential polls, he was quietly listening to the hour-long arguments as his lawyer continued to say that the former presidents should not be prosecuted for the actions they take in office. However, the judges appeared to be skeptical to the argument. A Biden appointee judge even tried to riddle Trump's attorney through his own arguments when she asked whether a president could be criminally prosecuted if they order the assassination of a political rival by special forces. But Trump's attorney insisted that even in this case, the president can only be prosecuted if first impeached and then convicted. That is by the U.S. Congress. Just last month, U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkan rejected his immunity claim. On March 4th, Trump is scheduled to go on trial on federal charges of election subversion. And for more on this story, on legal troubles of former U.S. President Donald Trump, our correspondent Susan Tehrani sends us this report on how this case is predicted to play out. Take a listen.
While the judges in D.C. indicated deep skepticism of Donald Trump's argument, the former president may actually benefit from this hearing. His team's goal is more about delaying the trial, which is set to start on March 4th, just one day before Super Tuesday, than actually winning the argument. Ultimately, they can also appeal all the way to the Supreme Court, which will also likely delay the matter. The former president has made no secret of his desire to delay these trials, preferably after the 2024 presidential elections, where he may win the White House, be able to pardon himself, or ask his Justice Department to pardon him.
Well, Susan also explains what arguments Trump's legal team is pushing for at the moment.
Once again, like so many other cases, we're in uncharted legal territory when it comes to this case. The former president defended his lawyer's argument when he addressed the press on Tuesday. He said, quote, "As president, you have to have immunity. If it's during the time in office, you have to have absolute immunity. Without immunity," former President Donald Trump said that current President Joe Biden and former President Barack Obama could also be prosecuted. Biden for open borders, his faulty withdrawal from Afghanistan, which led to the death of U.S. service members, and Barack Obama, for example, for those drone strikes during his presidency, which also killed Americans. So, you know, not just Donald Trump, but many legal experts are saying this may ultimately open up a Pandora's box if it goes through.